This is the Digital Savage Experience Podcast, hosted by Roman Prokopchuk, bringing you all things digital marketing, tech, business, and motivation. What's stopping you from becoming relentless in all aspects of life? Are you ready to become a digital savage? Let's get into today's episode.
Hey everyone, this is Roman Prokopchuk, and this is the Digital Savage Experience, episode 56. Spotify acquires Anchor and Gimlet in podcast audio play. So if you guys haven't heard, it was announced today by Spotify that they would be making a big audio play into the podcast space by acquiring Gimlet and Anchor. Huge shout out to Anchor. The reason I started this podcast was Anchor. I got basically put on it by Gary Vee in one of his podcasts. He shouted it out that it's a great platform for creating podcasts. When I got onto it, I saw that ease of use, the unique features, simplified the audio creation process. And for the last 13 months, I've been going strong. So huge congrats to Anchor for being acquired. And then Gimlet is basically a unique content creator that produces unique podcast shows that have also been transformed into platforms like Amazon Prime in terms of making cinematic shows out of them. So a huge shout out. So Spotify gets the best of both worlds, unique content in terms of podcasts generated, as well as a huge network of podcasters that are already generating revenue through ads on their own behalf, and obviously Anchor's getting a cut as well. There's also a feature on Anchor where you can put a button to help support the podcast, and Anchor gets a cut of that revenue as well. So they're getting ad revenue added to their kind of ad network as well as a huge network of podcasters. In Q4, 15 billion hours of content was created on Anchor, which is crazy, and that number is going to continue to grow. So a lot of people are getting into podcasting recently. It's still in an infancy state. Hard to believe because podcasts have existed for years now, but people are really starting to listen and see that audio is the only medium where you can multitask with. So you can listen to a podcast in the gym, driving to work, walking, running, what have you. Nothing else in terms of written and anything visual will allow you to multitask. You will crash, you will fall, you will trip, you will not be productive if you try to do more than one. But with audio, you can have audio playing in the background, still getting your work done, getting, unique perspective and a bunch of information that will help you in your personal life, in your career, regardless of whatever you're interested in. So it's a great move overall. Spotify is super smart for doing this. They're like the first big company that I've seen make some money moves when it comes to podcasts. They noticed that probably about 20 to 30% moving forward of the audio played on Spotify will be non-music. So podcasts, different other documentaries, audiobooks, things of that nature. So they basically made the investment to acquire these two power players at this point in terms of the podcast space to make that area of their business super robust and basically attract more podcasters, because Spotify backing Anchor has a lot more credibility. Not to say that Anchor didn't before, but now it's even more credible, a higher network of podcasters and into their ecosystem of creators, as well as Gimlet creating unique podcast content in terms of different types of shows that, the rights can be sold to different streaming platforms. Like I said, Amazon Prime has made a show from one of the Gimlet podcast shows, as well as other things that, could be sold in terms of rights or adapted into different cinematic features. So this is all great for the podcast space. It's only adding more and more light, and things are moving more and more into audio and obviously voice assistants, home assistants, which obviously you can also stream podcasts and audiobooks through, because it saves time and you can do multiple things as well. So awesome acquisition. I found out via email. New features are coming soon. I don't know as a result of the acquisition or in general, but I spoke to a representative from Anchor about 2 days ago about making their internal analytics for podcasts more robust. And they basically said something's coming sooner than you think, and it's going to be awesome and more enhanced in terms of information you're getting about your listeners. So if you guys do use Anchor and you haven't spoken to anybody in Anchor in a while or in general, just be sure to keep checking your analytics, because they will look a lot more robust in the near future. And if you haven't gotten into the podcast space and you feel like you have something to share, don't be shy, don't be scared. Nothing, in terms of what you're doing or trying to do is wrong. Just try it out, put it out there, see what people are, saying or what feedback you get. And, your first episode won't be perfect, and maybe your second, your third, your fourth, or whatever. But as long as you try and it makes you happy, it's actually, rewarding. So until next time, guys, take care.
If you're like me, finding a place to eat is never an easy thing to do. Whether I'm in my hometown of Ewing, New Jersey, or traveling, I always find myself wishing I had a trusted friend I could call to tell me where to eat. The infatuation is that friend. The infatuation helps you find the right restaurant for any situation. Need a place for a first date? Trying to find a spot for your birthday that you don't want to celebrate except you also kind of do? The infatuation has you covered in all of these situations and many more. So if you ever need to find a place to eat but don't want to read through thousands of unreliable crowdsourced reviews, hit up theinfatuation.com or download their free app for iOS and Android to search thousands of restaurant reviews and guides in 22 major cities around the world. Or let the infatuation do the work for you by sending a text to 64560. A real person will respond and help you find a restaurant that's perfect for whatever situation you find yourself in.
This podcast has been brought to you by Nova Zora Digital. Find out how Nova Zora Digital can help your company grow online. Learn more at novazoradigital.com. Until next time, all you digital savages.